prepare yourself for an epic episode that is going to so help you with your social media, with putting yourself out there, with your marketing. Trust me, this is a do not miss episode. It is so important. I had my conference Evolve, and one of my keynote speakers was Tanner Mitchell, Tanner the Planter, who I've had on the show before, episode 144. If you haven't listened, go back and listen to that as well. But when I did that episode with Tanner, I was like, man, you are doing so many things. He's got millions of followers on social media between TikTok and Instagram and Facebook. He's doing live selling. He's built an incredibly successful retail business using social media. And me being in the social media space for over a decade, everything that Tanner's doing, he's doing it right. He's doing it his way. It's very inspiring what he has built. And the talk he gave at Evolve was funny and inspiring and tactical and strategic. He just knocked it out of the park, so much so that he was such a fan favorite of our audience attendees. And so I was like, I got to put this on the podcast. I can't gatekeep this information. Like, I want our retailers to be as successful as possible. And what better way than to hear it from Tanner, who has built a very successful business with his wife, Erica, using social media. So you're going to get so much out of this episode. And if you get the chance, you can watch this on YouTube, because Tanner we have his presentation from Evolve that was an in-person event or an in-person recording. And I just wanted to share it here so you could watch it, you can listen, but I know you're going to get so much value out of it. And if you do leave us a review, it would mean the world. And I would just love to hear what your top takeaway was from today's episode. So let's dive in to Tanner's keynote from Evolve. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Crystal Vilkaitis, the Wolf of Main Street, and this is Rooted in Retail.
I feel the need to offer a little bit of a warning before we get started. I'm a social media influencer. I'm not a professional speaker. And this is going to mean a couple of things for you. One, there's going to be a lot of ums, a lot of awkward pauses, a lot of looking down at the notes. It's also going to mean the second thing, because as an influencer, I am a professional at keeping your attention for about 60 to 90 seconds. We're about that far in, so if things start dropping off really quick, you know why. But if you can hold on with me for the next 45 minutes, I'm going to teach you how we took $300 and turned it into $1 million business in under 5 years using nothing but the power of social media. Do we have any couple entrepreneurs in the crowd here today? Power couples? Oh, yeah. There's mine right up there. This is my wife, Erica, and I doing an iconic pot slap. If you guys follow me on social media, you might have seen our iconic pot slapping. But I have to come clean a little bit because I'm up here speaking to you guys about marketing, but really the genius in our relationship here is my wife. She is a natural genius marketer, and she's been with me from the very beginning. And I pretty much do what she tells me to do, but I do it on social media. Because even though I'm the introvert, she's the extrovert, I prefer to be on camera. It's much easier for me to be on camera than it is to be talking to just a couple of people at a time. This is fine for me. One-on-one, two-on-two. Anybody introverts in here? Oh, yes, I love seeing the introverts. Because there's such a big disconnect between people who think the only way you can be successful on social media is by being an extrovert. And actually the opposite is true. Introverts are naturally creative. That's not what we're talking about here today. But I just have a special heart for introverts. So I definitely want to speak to you guys today, but yes, thank you. But I also want to talk to the extroverts as well, because of course we're all here under the same reason, right? This is the store that we own. Oh, isn't it cute? It's in Prosper, Texas, actually, just outside of Dallas, even though it's called Famous in Oregon. There's a whole story about that. You can read it on our website. Erica did a beautiful write-up. We also do live sailing. You can see that down in the bottom left corner there. If you guys aren't familiar with live sailing, basically what we do is we get on our social media twice a week. We get on Instagram, we get on Facebook, and we have an app. We have our own app that we do live selling on. We sell houseplants, so we teach people how to take care of the plants. We bring in all this new inventory. We teach them how to take care of it, watering, light, fertilizing, etc. And then we ship all the plants around the United States, all over. Well, most people are pretty surprised when we tell them we make a living selling just houseplants. Usually they think, you must be a florist. They understand that. You must be a landscaper. You understand that. No. Only plants that can go inside your house. They're also pretty crazy that we ship them. Most people don't know that you can ship plants all over the United States. We do it really, really well. It is a crazy endeavor. Probably the second hardest thing to ship, but we do it. Now, I'll admit only selling houseplants does sound kind of crazy, but that's what I want to talk to you guys about today, because it doesn't matter how niche-y your business is in. It doesn't matter what weird thing you're into. There's a lot of people in the world who are just as weird as you, who like the same things that you do. There's enough of them out there to create a business, but you have to go find them. More importantly, you have to attract them to you. Our following brings people from all over the country. A lot of it is just in state, but since we live in Texas, that's a big deal because you can drive for 12 hours and you can still be in Texas. So it's a big deal. We've had people come from almost all 50 states, including Alaska, Hawaii. We have people come from South Africa, Mexico, Canada. And I'm not talking about on the weekends. I'm not talking about on a special occasion, on a holiday. Every day. It's gotten to the point where if Erica and I walk into our own store on a Monday morning, on a Wednesday afternoon, on a Friday night, we have to wear disguises. I mean, I don't want to be that person, but we do. Because a 2-minute intro into the store turns into 2 hours of conversation with followers, fans, people who love houseplants, people who love what we're doing. And I want you to ask yourself, because I know there's a lot of you here who are a little bit resistant to social media for one reason or another. I understand. But I want you to ask yourself, what would it mean if you had that type of attention, that kind of attention that could bring people from hours away, different countries, every single day? What would it mean to your business? What would it mean to the confidence of how you feel on a month-to-month basis about your business if you knew that it was bulletproof? Because the people that are in your community, although they matter, of course they matter. But if you can attract all of those weird people to come to your store, you're going to be bulletproof. So we believe in having a profitable social media. It's not just about doing it for the sake of getting followers. Vanity numbers are a lot of fun. These pictures were taken about 2 years apart from each other. The first one, I was doing some of our very first live selling at our house. You can see just a couple of plants there behind me. And then the second one, anyone do any farmers markets? We did a lot of farmers markets. It was terrible. Our kids ate all of our profit because we had to take them with us, and then they have to eat. And then the final picture was just about 2 months ago. Earlier this year, we got to purchase our building. Our followers afforded us the ability to purchase it. It's the cute, historic downtown building right on the corner of our downtown. And you can see the tremendous growth from one post to the next. This is where consistency and authenticity have gotten us. 1.8 million followers on TikTok, 570,000. You can read, I get it, you know. It's a lot of people. It's about 3 million people. So not only do I want you to think about what it would mean to your business to bring that kind of people in, but what would it mean to your business to have 3 million people look at your business every single day for free? Teaching about social media for small businesses and how you can use it in your small business is something we're really passionate about, because I've done all the training. I've done Bob was talking about the cassettes. I didn't take a cassette. It was on YouTube probably. I've done all the training. I've done you need to get your lighting right. You need to do this type of video. You got to make sure you have audio. And I'm an ultra distiller. I like to reverse engineer everything. So I know that you don't need any of those things. So when we are able to talk to small business owners like you and teach you actually what you need to know to do really well on social media for your business, and how simple and easy it is and how anybody can do it, we see their businesses grow month after month. Now, I've got this split into 2 parts. The first one is going to be consistency. There's nothing more important to your social media success with your business than consistency. Now, what most people fail with is consistency over the long term. I'm not talking about, I posted every day for a week. Where's all the numbers, Tanner? Eric and I have been posting on social media for 10 years. Only about 5 years ago did things start, those numbers, only about 5 years ago did we start seeing those kinds of numbers. It takes a lot of repetition. And in the beginning, it doesn't matter what you're posting. The panel yesterday, they were talking about just do it. Just post. Nobody really cares. It's about working the muscle. You're going to get better over time, but if you don't work the muscle day after day or week after week, then you're going to lose that relevancy. Now, consistency can mean something different to everybody. When we very first started, I was posting a video every single day, sometimes 2 or 3 videos every day. And that is an extreme case. I wouldn't recommend it to you unless that's your personality, unless you really like to go hard in the paint. But commit to something. Could you do 1 video per week? Could you do 1 post per week? Could you do 3? If you're thinking right now, I could post more often if I had some more employees to do some of the stuff, then I could have the time, right, to do more posts. Well, I want you to think of every single post you make as an employee. And I can prove this to you, how each piece of content that you put on the internet, whether it's a video or text, a story, whatever it is, can be an employee for you. They're spreading the word about your business. They're demonstrating your products. They're building community around your brand. These last 2 are my favorite. They're not clocking in because they can't clock out or they can't clock in. It's just a post. They don't take any sick breaks. They never call in. They don't go on vacation. They're always working. And I have some beautiful examples for you guys. All right, what's the catch? There's always a catch, right? It also sounds well and grand to imagine a bunch of free employees out there teaching people how to use your products and what's your business about, what are you doing? But if you're like me, then you're thinking to yourself, yeah, I'd love to have a bunch of those videos out there constantly promoting me, but who's going to make the videos? Who's going to do all this work? It's true. I definitely recommend that you are the one that is the face of your business. One of the biggest things that small business, that all of you have over all the big box stores and whoever your biggest competition is you. Nobody is more you than you. Nobody is more weird than you. Nobody is going to attract more people like you than you. You do still have to make the videos. And like I said, I do recommend it being in-house because that is how you get that authenticity. We're going to go over some more of that in part 2. But for now, we need to address the question of how you're going to find the time to do one more thing. As small business owners, we wear a lot of hats. I remember when we very first started, when we opened Famous in Oregon, Erica and I were there 7 days a week, 360 days a year, all day, every day. We were the janitors, we were the salespeople, we were the schedulers, we were everything, just like all of you guys were. You know what we're talking about. We wear a lot of hats. And so when I decided to commit to building our business on social media, I said, you know what, I have to make a plan. I have to make sure that I can wear all these hats and wear one more hat. How can I integrate it in my business so that it's easy, so that it's simple, so that it's repeatable, so that I can stay consistent? This is how I did it. I have 8 different things. And you know what a lot of social media gurus out there won't tell you is that it really pays off to know your type of personality. That's why I wanted you guys to raise introverts, extroverts, but it goes beyond that. Are you a planner? Or are you a little bit more spontaneous? One is not better than the other. If I told Erica right now, my wife, super extrovert, she's probably talked to half this room, I would assume. If I told her she had to plan a social media post, this is what she does. Every time I tell her we got to plan something, yeah, she's doing it right now. She fakes like she's choking. She does not want to plan a single thing. She is extremely spontaneous. On the other hand, I could be either one of those on any given day. When my life gets really, really busy, like when I'm here at a conference or when I'm traveling, I like to plan my stuff out so I can keep it all in my brain. But any other day of the week, I like to be spontaneous. Again, it doesn't really matter which one you are. It matters that you know which one you are so that you can plan to be consistent. Because a lot of you are going to leave after this conference right now and you're going to want to try to be consistent. And then you're going to get into the daily grind of all of your things and you're going to forget. It's going to be a week since you posted, 2 weeks since you posted. Here's what I've done for the past 7 years to stay consistent on social media, posting nearly every day in some form or fashion. And the first 4 that we're going to go over are for our planners. Brainstorming. When I very first started, I sat down with a legal pad in our store and I wrote down 100 video ideas for our business. And The important thing about doing these brainstorms is that you don't filter anything out. If it comes into your brain, you write it down. Don't think, I can't do that. That would take too long. I don't have the people to do that. I don't know how to edit. It doesn't matter. Just do it. I still have that list of 100 ideas at our store, and I still refer to it today. Most of the ideas that you're going to write down are going to be terrible. Some of them are going to be okay. For me, there were a few of them that skyrocketed our social media and got our business to where it is today. I still brainstorm today. In fact, actually, I carry my notebook around wherever we go. Anytime I have an idea, I write it down. You can also use your phone. Most people will want to use their phone. I'm trying to stay off my phone. As a social media person, you can be on it a lot. I got down to 2 hours of screen time last week. Thank you. I love it. Brainstorm. Batching is not new to any of you. Batching is a very common idea in the social media world, but basically, if you're unfamiliar with batching, it's making a bunch of videos all at once. So if you're the type of person that likes to schedule your days out and you say, hey, what? On Sunday, I'm going to make 7 videos for the entire week. When I know I'm going to be out of my routine, like when I came here, I made, I think 4 or 5 videos ahead of time so that I could post. Don't go look now. I haven't posted today. The way to stay consistent with my posts on vacation is to schedule them out. But what I also like to do, this is a little bit of a pro tip. It doesn't really matter, but it kind of matters professionally. Wear different outfits if you're going to batch. Okay? At least fake it. You know, there's a little bit of fudging the numbers on the authenticity bit, okay? This is my favorite one. How many of you scroll social media every day? I know there's way more than that, but you guys are taking notes. I appreciate that. Research scrolling. I've never heard of this. I don't know if anybody else does it, but I do it. I love it. Okay, we have some people that do some research scrolling. Okay, so whenever I am scrolling through social media, say I'm going to look at social media through the lens of how can I apply this to my small business? This will not only help you stay consistent, but it's also going to help you stay very creative, because if you can get outside of the niche, whatever your niche is, and look at other content that's doing really, really well, stuff that you like, stuff that you resonate with, think of it. How could I put this into my niche? How could I take this roof thatching video that I just watched and apply it to my houseplant business? That's how you get those really creative ideas. Borrow all day long. There are hardly any original ideas anymore, so don't worry about that. Borrow all day long. Oh, this is another fun one. Okay, I don't know if anyone else does this either, but something I think we made up. Stop, record, and post. When we were doing that 7 days a week, 360 days a year, we would have the intention of wanting to post every day, but then you know how it goes. Okay, we're taking care of the plants. Got to water them, prune them. A customer comes in, you got over here. Oh, got to do an email, check somebody out. Come on over here. Time to close. I haven't made a post. So what we would do is we would set a random alarm throughout our workday. And when it went off, as soon as it would go off, have to take out our phone, take a picture, make a video, do whatever it was, record it, post it, done. That is a fantastic way to stay consistent. Now, this one is often coupled with my next tip, one takes. One takes are a beautiful way of getting out of your way, your own way. Small business owners are in their way all the time. The beauty of one takes is they really hit 2 of the important key factors, the authenticity and the consistency. You're more likely to be authentic because you're not overthinking it. You don't really have time to overthink it. You just have to do it. The downside is, there's some downsides here. Sometimes important factors can be missed. About 3 years ago, we were making a video. We have this beautiful ficus in our bedroom in the corner, and Erica and I were doing a one take. So she was recording me. And I was doing this demonstration for this video of how to prune a ficus, a fiddle-leaf fig. Very popular plant, right? And every time you cut into a fiddle-leaf fig, there's this white sap that kind of drips down. And if it gets on your skin, it can be an irritant. So you want to go and wash it off as fast as you can, or just wear gloves. But in the video, during my one take, I said, don't worry, if it gets on your skin or if it gets on your finger, just cut it off. But it was a one take. I couldn't edit it. There was no editing. I just posted it. I tried to put it in the caption saying, okay, of course, don't cut your finger off if you get it on there, but whatever. That video exploded. several million video views. Tons of people stitched it. There was actually this one amputee that stitched it, which was hilarious. He jumps out of his truck with one leg and he's like, I misunderstood. The internet is a wild place, and sometimes it's very, very wonderful. A lot of you get caught up on uploading at the correct time. You see these videos on social media, Instagram and Facebook and TikTok, and they say, okay, for your audience, for your perfect customer, you need to be posting when they are watching social media. Yes, that's true 5 years ago. It's no longer relevant because the algorithms are so good. It doesn't matter if I post at 6 a.m., I'm going to get the same relevance if I post at 3 p.m. And again, it doesn't really matter in the beginning. You're just trying to work the muscle. Post at 2 in the morning if you want to. If you want no one to see it and you just want to get comfortable with doing it, post at midnight. Who cares? Work the muscle. Does it matter if you go to the gym at midnight? Does it matter if you go to the gym at 6 in the morning, 8 in the morning, 2 p.m.? No, it doesn't. We only care that you're working the muscle. The repetitions is what matters.
What if 3 days could change the way you lead your store forever? On October 6th, 7th, and 8th, we're gathering at Disney World, yes, Disney World, for something rare, powerful, and intimate. And I hope you can join us. This is the Rooted in Retail 3-day Disney World experience, and it's going to be magical. This isn't just a business event. It's a masterclass in wonder-fueled leadership, a deep dive into the systems, stories, and service standards that makes Disney, Disney, and how you can take that same magic and infuse it into every corner of your store. Here's what makes this so special. You get to step behind the curtain of the most beloved brand in the world and learn how to lead, serve, and create moments that matter, not just transactions. You get to rediscover wonder as a strategy because the best retailers don't just sell, they stir emotion, build belonging, and design unforgettable experiences. You get to leave with a spark, a new standard, a clearer vision, and a fire in your belly that says, let's build something legendary. This is about transformation, no tips, not more to-dos, but a return to what really matters in your store and letting that lead. Tickets are extremely limited. This is a high-touch, intimate event. If you feel pulled to join us, trust that pull. This is so special, and I cannot wait to do this with our group of retailers. The tickets include 3 nights hotel, park tickets to Magic Kingdom and Epcot, most of your food, special experiences, the education and frameworks, coaching calls after the experience, and more. So head to rootedinretail.com/Disney. That's rootedinretail.com/Disney to learn more and secure your ticket. Very limited seating on this one. And I hope to create some magic with you at Disney in October. All right, let's get back to this episode.
This one right here has made us more money than anything else on social media. And actually, it's our largest video, views-wise. And that's the idea of redoing old ideas. When I was writing out those list of 100 ideas to do, 100 video ideas, I was trying not to repeat myself a whole bunch because you don't want to use the same content over and over again, right? You want to stay fresh. You want to stay relevant. How many times could I do the same repotting video over and over again, right? And I used to fight this idea of remaking the videos over and over again in the past because I realized, I thought, if I'm putting it on TikTok, that person's not going to watch it on Facebook. The next person's not going to watch it on Instagram. Boy, was I massively wrong. We have this repotting program in our store where people can bring in their plants and we will repot them for it. It's a repotting service. And because orchids are such a powerful or such a popular houseplant, we were repotting them all the time. And so they would bring it in, and I'd be like, okay, I'll make a video really quick. This is how you repot an orchid. And then they'd bring in another orchid, and I say, okay, this is how you repot an orchid. So by the time I posted this one, I'd probably done a dozen or more orchid repotting videos. But this one blew up to over 15 million views. And it gained us about 70 to 100,000 followers on each platform. More than 2 years later, I still get comments on that video every single day. That's the employee. That's my employee out there. For 2 years, he's never clocked in. That video never clocked in. It just makes us money constantly. What would that mean to your business? You got to get out of your own way. The long game is super important, and I touched on this a little bit earlier. We all want our videos to do really, really well, especially when you're first starting and you're really vulnerable and it's a big, hairy, scary kind of thing. You want them to do well. You want to see those results. You don't want to post and have 10 people watch it. That's perfectly fine, but you don't want that, right? You want them to do well. You want some immediate feedback. Kind of like when we buy something for wholesale and then sell it retail and we make $10 profit. That's the kind of instant satisfaction that we want, right? Also, about 2 years ago, I was probably watching on PBS or something, I don't know. Has anyone ever seen that series where it's like, why is this thing so expensive, right? What is so-and-so and so-and-so, and why is it so expensive? So there's this really popular houseplant called the Monstera albo there on the left. And at the time, a 6-inch pot, so it's a 6-inch diameter pot, it's about 18 inches tall, goes for about $600. Very rare plant. So I thought it was a good idea. I'm gonna do this "Why is it so expensive" video. I thought it was so creative. I was very proud of it. We went to some friend's greenhouse right here who has hundreds of these plants in there, and we recorded this video, and I proudly posted it. And I said, oh, this one's gonna go so well. By the way, if you ever think a video is gonna do so well, it never does. And I was kind of disappointed. I thought, gosh, that was such a good video. I could do this on so many because there's a lot of rare, expensive houseplants. This is a series that can take me for months of content. This is gonna be great. But it flopped, and so I was like, okay, let me move on. About a month ago, I started getting a lot of comments on this video. They were saying, here from the birthday post, here from the birthday video. And so I'm like, what? I messaged one of them. I said, what are you talking about? What's the birthday video? And so they sent me the video. At that time, one sister had gifted a Monstera albo to her plant-loving sister. And during the video, they talked about kind of, oh my gosh, this is so expensive. Are you sure? Thank you so much. That kind of thing. What do you think the very next video, all those people that watched that gift exchange, what do you think the very next thing was that they searched? Why are Monstera albos so expensive? And that video blew up almost to 1 million views now. So 2 years later, we gained about 700,000 views on that video. Now the prices have come down on these plants now to about $300, but every single one in our store sold out. And we uploaded more and they sold out again. So don't give up on your videos. Just keep them out there because they are your employees teaching your customers, teaching possibly future customers what you're doing. Now let's get into the authenticity part because consistency is fine, but if I get up here every day, I'm like, hey guys, this is what I'm doing today. It's not going to be that interesting, right? You have to be authentic. Again, that's the difference between you and a big box store, you and your biggest customer. Nobody is youer than you. Didn't Dr. Seuss say that? Nobody is more weirder than you. I said that. Lack of authenticity is killing your social media. Practicing authenticity is not only the fastest way to grow your social media and your business, it's the easiest way to stay consistent. A lot of us have pushback, some internal pushback within ourselves when we are being inauthentic up on camera. And it makes us not want to do the thing. Whether you realize it or not, if you're being inauthentic every time you're going out into the world, either in personal or in your business, that's a misrepresentation. You're always going to have that internal conflict. So here are 3 tips I have for being ultra authentic. You got to speak like a real human, you guys. If I see one more video like a news anchor and you have the power and the magic of a small business and you want to be a weatherman, My wife is covering her face up here because I get onto her all the time about it. When she gets on camera, she could be talking to me and she'll be like, yeah, baby, so we're going to be talking about this. Okay, and then I'm going to come in this. And then she goes on, she's, the weather today is 240. And I'm like, who are you? This isn't even my wife. You got to be yourself, you guys. Loosen up. Again, nobody cares. The weird people, the people that are like you, are going to love it. That's the people that you are going for. All the other people, they might say something mean. They're probably just going to scroll away. Who cares? I hate to be morbid, but this is something I always say. We're all going to die soon anyway. What's the difference? Just put it out there. But don't talk like a news anchor while you do it. Talk to the camera as if you're talking to a friend. Something that I like to do a whole lot is to actually do that. So I will have a conversation and then I'll get into the video so that I have that same tone. So if I'm in the store, maybe I'll be talking to an employee, and then I recognize the tone that I'm using, and I roll right into the video just like that. That's a really easy way. Practice just being authentic. Don't get on the camera and talk like someone you think is supposed to be a professional. You're not a professional. You're a small business owner trying to show people what you're doing, trying to show people your magic. Oh, but we got to have a vibe check. Because you have to show up the same in person, the same on your business, offline. I have this funny story, and I debated telling it. I told you earlier how people travel from all over the United States and even out of country to come and see us. Early on, it was kind of a new phenomenon. Eric and I walked into our store, and we opened up, and some people were waiting out in the front parking lot for us to open. And they kind of followed us right in. And that turned into a lot of conversation. They're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're here. And we're like, yeah, we work here. Where else would we be? And we get to talking to them for 30 minutes, an hour. And somewhere in that line, I get stopped. And the guy says, you're way cooler on the internet. I think I have a t-shirt that says that now. Some friends made it for me. But it was true. And it was because, actually, it's very easy for me to show up authentically on a camera. I'm just talking to a camera. It's very easy for an introvert to just go like this. If you're creating a false sense of what your business or what you are about on your social media, and then people come in and they realize that there's an inconsistency, that's the last time they're going to be in. They want to know that the person that's online is the same person that's going to be in front of them when they come into your store. I had a really hard time because being an introvert, when those people came to see me, I was very quiet. I didn't really know how to talk to them so well. So I was way cooler on the internet. Your business should reflect the energy that you're putting online, and your new friends you've worked so hard might be disappointed if they find out otherwise. This is one of the biggest ways to get superfans. I know we were talking about superfans yesterday, right? Has anyone ever read that book? That was a wonderful book. I love that one. You have to respond genuinely to your comment section. And I'm not talking about every single comment. Comments are more and more rare. Have you guys noticed that? You might have even noticed on some of the video accounts that I was showing you up here where it can be millions of videos, millions of views, but only a few hundred comments. And if you look at that percentage, it's extremely, extremely low. Comments are exceedingly rare. When someone is commenting, they're kind of doing a little bit of a bid, right? They're kind of saying, hey, can we be friends? What's your vibe? How are you going to respond to this? The person that I'm seeing in this video, is it the same person that's in the comment section? Something that I like to do is take a certain amount of time per day. Sometimes that changes. Sometimes that's 10 minutes per day. Sometimes that's 20 minutes per day. And I will respond in the most genuine way that I can to as many comments as I can. Sometimes that's 2 comments. Sometimes it's 5. But those 2 people or those 5 people are going to be the people that come into your community, come into your business and support you. Now, this is a little bit of a bonus tip. I just threw this one in there. Being authentic doesn't mean that you have to be like super laid back and casual all the time, right? You can still communicate clearly and effectively, but when you're communicating with emotion, they feel it. And when they feel it, they're going to remember it. And when they remember it, they're going to remember you. And when they remember you, they remember your business. Now, this is the true magic of authenticity. When you're consistently showing up to your audience in an authentic way, you create a bond, which is kind of weird to say, right? Because they're online. Kind of goes against, you get it? We're not together. But you create a bond. Even if you've never met before, there's a very tangible feeling between the two of you. It's one of your weird people. You have that connection. And these bonds, you guys, have a massive, massive upside to your small business. The first upside is going to be loyalty. Authenticity is going to build loyalty. When they see you posting authentically, they see a little bit of themselves in you, and they immediately connect. A lot of people love social media influencers. They connect with social media influencers. They go to their book signings. They travel to go and see them on a meet and greet because they connect, because they want to have that courage to step out onto social media and do what you're doing. They see a little bit of themselves and it gives them that idea that they could do it. And they can, but they see it in you and you inspire them. Now, I have a couple of stories here for this loyalty bit. When we do our live sales, we're doing them to the entire United States. We don't do them outside of the country. And these plants that we're selling are largely not super rare. You could get them anywhere in the United States. You know, Jackie Washington, who is watching us in Mississippi, who spent $20,000 over the past 6 months on houseplants, she could buy those anywhere. She could buy those anywhere. It's the same plants. She could probably go to Lowe's or Home Depot or Walmart. She could spend half the amount of money and save on shipping. But she doesn't because she created that connection with us on social media. They buy from us despite the fact that they could get the plants locally and save on the shipping. But because we have connected with them on social media, they're ours forever. And it's those little videos out there that are your employees that are out there doing the work for you constantly, finding those people that connect with you, that connect with your business. You're going to attract the right people. Anyone here had any bad customers that you had to fire? Yeah. When you're showing up authentically, you're attracting people that not only are interested in you and your business, or they're not going to be just interested in you, they're going to be interested in your business as well. If you're going to go on social media and you're complaining, guess who you're going to attract? Complainers. So then when you send them a product or they buy a product from you, they're going to complain. Complainers attract complainers. So there's a limit to the authenticity because we all have those off days. We all have those days where we're doing really, really well. And those days when, gosh, everything has fallen apart with our business. Going on your social media and complaining about it is not the time because you're going to attract those complainers. You want to attract your best customer and nobody else. And I'm not talking about sales-wise. I'm not talking about just the sales, right? I'm talking about those friends, those people that support you, the ones that are not only going to like, comment, and share on your post, but the ones that are going to buy. It's kind of like having family, except for they actually buy from you, right? Early on in our success, when things were really starting to blow up for us, this was about 2 years ago, our authenticity paid off in a really big way. We were drowning. We went from having 3 employees, well, Erica and I and one other person, and in the matter of 6 weeks, we had hired 20 more people because of how fast things were growing. And like I said, we were drowning. Our website was crashing. Things were out of organization. It was just falling apart. It was chaos. And we had 2 people from the community come out and volunteer their time. Professionals who had stay-at-home jobs. And they said, you know what? I'm done with my job at 2 p.m. I'll hurry up and get this done by noon. And then whatever you need me to do, I'm going to do it. When we expressed our gratitude for these people doing all this admin work for us, website work for us, et cetera, for free, because we had our videos out there attracting them to us, the only response that we got from them is because you're good people, because of how we're showing up. Whew. Community. Community is a big one. We opened our store during the pandemic, May of 2020. Probably the worst time to open a business, right? In fact, when we signed the lease on our building, 3 days later, we all went into lockdown. And we thought, either this is the biggest mistake that we've ever made, or who knows, maybe it could be the best. Luckily, because we sell houseplants and everybody was working from home, we got to outfit a lot of Zoom backgrounds. And our business actually did pretty darn well. But when we were trying to open up our store, we were talking about it on social media and showing up consistently and authentically. And our community showed up. We had people coming and offering their services for cleaning the floors, for plumbing, handyman work. We had one man who said, you don't have any shelving. I know how to build. I have a woodworking business. I'll build all your shelves for free. 2 days before we opened, he delivered them all. Recently, we had a couple of losses, and having that community, having thousands where millions of people wrap their arms around you. It's really special. That's the power of community, and that's the power of showing up authentically and consistently. I need a round of applause, you guys. Thank you. Come on, give it to me. Now, I know a lot of you are out there still a little bit resilient to start posting on there because of the social anxiety, right? If you're camera shy, whenever I'm talking to small business owners, I say they can't get in front of a camera for one reason or another. I don't know what to say. I don't like the way that I look. The lighting, I don't know how to edit. I don't know social media. That's not important. It's just important that you do it. It's important that you work the muscle. And I wanted to tell this, again, very terrible story about myself before we get into the Q&A, because we are going to open it up for a little bit of a Q&A. So I grew up in Oregon. That's why our store name is called Famous in Oregon. Hey, we got some Oregonians here. That's right. Even though we're in Prosper, Texas, just outside of Dallas. It's a lot of confusion. And after I graduated high school, I was invited on a whitewater rafting trip outside of where I lived. I was unfamiliar with the area. The day before the trip, or the rafting trip, the day before we were supposed to get on the water, I traveled to that city. Luckily, I had a cousin who lived there, so I stayed with him. And the very next morning, I started to go and find the whitewater rafting. But this was before I had a phone kind of GPS. I mean, I know I look young. I'm not that young. I didn't have a GPS. You could have a little car-mounted Garmin things, that were so terrible. I just saw one of those the other day, and I'm like, what year is it? How are you still selling these? So my directions were on a Post-it note, just handwritten. And it was kind of one of those towns where it's like, hey, go up to the red barn and turn left until you find the boulder and then turn right. That kind of thing. Didn't take long before I was egregiously lost. So I pulled into a Shell station and I called my cousin. Just a reminder, I'm 18 years old at this point, graduated. I'm supposed to be a man. And I didn't know where I was. I was lost. And he said, just go in and ask. Well, I'd rather die, but thank you. Okay. And I couldn't do it. That's the honest to truth. I couldn't do it. I sat there. I don't know how long I sat there. And I sat there and I sat there and I couldn't go in. So I called him back. Said, I can't do it. He's like, what? As an extrovert, he just couldn't understand. So as an 18-year-old, I had to have my cousin come and get me, pick me up, tail between my legs, and I go home. That's how bad it was for me. That's how bad my social anxiety was. So if I'm able to be on social media, you are too. I made a post right before I got up here, a drop on our app. We posted 40 new products onto our app right before I was coming up on stage right here. So I don't know what time it is, but maybe 40 minutes or so. And I have the results for you right here. So in 40 minutes, we posted, 40 minutes, 40 products. They sold out in 3 minutes. That's the power of social media. That's what you can do by showing up consistently and authentically. Thank you.
I have huge news. The Independent Retailers Association is live. We are so excited to announce that this online community is here to support independent retailers. We believe that it is the independent era. This is your time to shine. You have so many advantages to stand out, to grow customer experience, to get found online, to be a modern retailer that is relevant to today's consumer. And we want to help aid you in all of that, which you'll find on the Independent Retailers Association. Now, we call it IndERA, short for Independent Era. This is your era, and we're here to just amplify that with you and with all the other independent retailers who are inside of our community. So if you want to join us, membership starts as low as just $25 a month to join the community, get access to education, resources done for you, AI training, and more. Head to joinindera.com. That's join, INDERA.com to see the different membership levels and learn about what we are up to. So I would love to see you on the inside and love to help you grow your store. So head on over to joinindera.com And let's get back to the episode.
Now, I know we have a lot of Q&A. We've got a microphone over here. If you guys have any questions, please, because I love answering stuff off the cuff. I've spent 0 time on public speaking. I've spent countless hours on social media. So hit me with your best shot. We've got one back here.
I was wondering why you have an app and you don't just use the website.
We have an app for live selling. So yeah, you can download, hey, sorry, thank you. My wife is up here telling me. Yeah, these are all of our social medias right here. You can download our app. It's called Tanner the Planter. There's no spaces. It's in the United States. You can just find it on whatever app store that you have. The reason that we have the app is because we go on there to do our live sales twice a week. We can text people from there. I can send a text message to 20,000 people right now and have them purchase whatever in the world we want. It's probably going to be some houseplants, but that's why we have the app.
Let's say you being the face of the brand and then you're not at your store and then someone's coming there because they expect to see you. How do you incorporate employees? Like, what do you do around that?
We have these little special packages called pilgrimage packages. Anybody that comes to travel to see us, we have a package put together for them. Merch, travel snacks, things like that. The really nice thing about being in the business is, or having a brick and mortar like that, is that they don't just come to see Erica and I. They come to see the store. They come to see where all the videos are made. It doesn't always matter that your face is in it, but when your business is in it, that's what they're coming to see. They'll say every time they come in, oh, this is where you do the videos. I saw the video when you were doing this over here. Oh, there's your shop cat, Dee Dee. They all feel like they know us. We have a little shop cat, Dee Dee. She rides around on your shoulder while you shop. It's a beautiful thing. If you're ever in Dallas, Texas, come and see us. But that's how we do it. There's just no way to please everyone, and just so we do the best that we can. Our employees are really well trained at giving a great customer experience when they come in. And so even though they're not able to always see us, that's what we try to do. Actually, here is something fun. This actually happens quite often now. When we're away, if we're away from the business and somebody comes in to see us, an employee has the permission to FaceTime us. So they'll FaceTime us and we'll meet them right then and there. We were just at a funeral last week and someone FaceTimed us and Erica went and took the call and they got to meet us. When we're on vacation or when we're out and about, just a minute call. Takes 1 minute away from you. It means the world to this other person. They'll be yours forever.
Hashtags. Like I have no problem shooting the video, but the reason I don't post it is I drown in a confusion of, do I need hashtags? How fancy does my post have to be? Blah, blah, blah.
I'm so glad that you said this. Does anyone follow the Instagram CEO? Like the literal Instagram CEO? Hashtags are not relevant anymore. They don't matter. Yeah, you can use them or not. It really doesn't matter. Don't get bogged down by those silly little details. It really doesn't matter. Go for it. Just post. Work that muscle, girl. Yes. Introvert. And you are super authentic. I can tell you right here. Yes, ma'am. Get on there. I'm looking forward to following you.
I'm looking at your Instagram now, and I see you do a lot on your feed and you do a lot of reels. Can you talk a little bit about the difference between reels and stories and what we should be doing and where we put our time into? I don't know.
What are your strengths? Do you write well?
Yeah.
Lean into your strengths. Work the muscle. Do a static post. If you write well, do a static post. Do a picture and write a post. If all you can do is a story, do a story. Again, it doesn't matter which one of these things you're doing. You're going to get better over time. You're going to find what you're really, really good at. I did static posts for a long time, and then I found out that I really liked doing videos. And then I started doing videos, and that's what did really well. It's always going to change. They're going to say, oh, I'm pushing stories this week, and I'm pushing reels this time. Oh, this new next thing comes out. Don't listen to any of it. Just do it. Just go for it.
Well,
Work the muscle.
I push stores, so I'm not actually a retailer, but I work for an event. And one of my greatest pleasures is visiting as many stores as possible and posting about them and
Yes.
putting them on my site. So I get caught up in Canva and I make these movies and then I'm spending all this time doing it. I am getting better at it, but it takes a lot of time.
It does take a lot of time. And that's one of the things that I see with small business owners is that It's the rejection against how much time it takes because we wear so many stinking hats, because we have so many other things going on, and because revenue is so important to our business. When we post videos day after day, week after week, and we don't see the return on investment after a week or after a month, we lose the steam. Remember, Eric and I were posting online for 10 years, but now we have the power to post something and it sells out in 3 minutes. It's like $3,000 or something. I could do it again at the end of the day, tomorrow. It's worth it. The long haul is worth it. It's a long-term investment. Beautiful question.
What inspires you outside of plants and business? Like, are there places or people or books that fill your creative tanks?
You know what's really funny is that people are massively surprised to find that I am not ever in my own niche. I'm never on plant social media. I fuel my creativity. I don't know if this is the right way to do it. I don't know, you guys. I'm just going through life. I just do the things that I like to do. So something that inspires my creativity, I'm out in nature. I love that. I see other friends that are posting videos. Like I was saying earlier, I will do that scrolling. I'll do my scrolling to kind of find out what I can get inspiration from. It comes from everywhere, though. It comes from everywhere. And you know what's interesting about that, though, is the more you make it a part of your daily life, the more you find it. Our kids could tell you, they could testify to this right now, how many times Erica and I, throughout the day when we're on vacation or when we're just on our day-to-day life, how many times do we say, that's a post, that's a post, that's a post? The more you work it, the more you're going to find videos everywhere throughout your life. Record it, post it.
Across the 4 platforms that you post on, could you identify what you think is the best return on your investment as far as it relates to sales?
Facebook.
What's number 2?
Instagram. So the funny thing is we were doing these live sales for like 3 years. And we would have 30 people on. We would have 60 people on. And it was a lot of effort. Our sales were not there. We were shipping out maybe 10 boxes a week. Wasn't really there. And at the beginning of every year, Eric and I will get like an Airbnb or something. We'll go out of town and we'll plan our whole year. And we'll try new things. We'll say, what was working, what wasn't working. And the live sales are something that I wanted to get rid of. And she said, let's try it one more year, baby. And then 6 months into that, we went from 60 people to 200 people to 400 people to 4,000 people in the matter of a couple of weeks. That's why we had to hire 20 people in the matter of inside of 2 months. And it was because we started putting all of our content on Facebook. Because what we realized was all of the videos that we were putting on TikTok and Instagram, well, guess who's on TikTok and Instagram? People that don't have any money. Kids. Facebook people have a lot of money. That's why it's our best return on investment. Great question.
Okay, what about posting something on Instagram, then just sending it to Facebook, the same thing? Should you be posting different things in different places?
Oh, that's a really good question. Yeah, so like I was saying earlier, I would post all of my videos on TikTok and I would never post them on Instagram or Facebook because I was like, they're not going to want to watch the same video again. And I was massively, massively wrong. I would say to post the same video on every single platform. Again, you're working that muscle and you're going to get different feedback from each one of those platforms as well because you have different generations. You have different crowds watching each one of those social medias. And so you can find your people inside of each one of those crowds. And you can, if you want to, you can start to formulate content just for them. If you look on our videos, our reels are the same. Our 60 to 90 second videos are the same across all platforms. Our static posts have differences because we're talking to different audiences.
As far as the app goes, do you outsource that?
No.
Do you do all of this on top of accounting and operations and?
Ma'am, the only thing I do is make videos.
Okay.
I make them and I post them. And we've been lucky enough for them to do so well that we just pay people to do all the other stuff like accounting and whatnot. No, there's no way. And at first we were. And that's why I instilled a whole lot of those tactics for consistency of just stopping, recording, and posting because we did have to do the accounting. We did have to do all those things, but not anymore because we were consistent and authentic. Perfect.
Thank you so much for listening to the Rooted in Retail podcast. It means the world to me to have you here. If you find value in this show and you listen on an iPhone, if you could leave a review on the Apple Podcast app, that would be amazing. And if you watch YouTube, if you're a YouTube subscriber, we film this. And so if you rather watch the show, you can also do that over on YouTube. Again, thank you for listening, and I'll see you on the next episode.